Yeah. So also earlier in the talk, we were talking about coping. So we're going to go back to that one as well. So what would you say is the difference between coping and performing versus actually just living?
Hmm. This one, this one for me, this because it's very complex, right? So it hits
Hmm.
home for a lot of people, and I know that it did for me, right? Because here's what I've come to know by through dedication and desire to really get it and understand and dissect it. Coping is survival. Performing, right? When we perform, that's a protection, and living is permission. So coping and performing are skills that we get to develop, right? And we utilize them just to get through life, but they're not the same as being in life. Does that make sense? Right? So many high achievers, right? That I engage with and work with, and I work with a lot of caretakers. I work with a lot of healers, and what I see is that they're functioning. Okay, so they're functioning. They're productive. They're quote unquote fine, but they're also exhausted, and they're, believe it or not, quite disconnected, and they're running on these, what do you call them, scripts, or like the when you're reading for a role, I guess it would anyway. They're reading a script that somebody else wrote and gave it to them to read. So they're emotionally malnourished. They're not being fed properly. And so when we look at what living means, living is experiencing, right? It's experiencing you, not just the parts that make people comfortable, right? Like we all are, like, oh, you're so warm, you're so inviting, you're so this, right? But that's not the same thing as living, right? Like we have to choose ourselves first. And that's why my program is called Live for Yourself First, right? Like it's, we got to live for ourselves, and do so without feeling guilty, selfish, punished, restricted, because our first go-to is, oh, I gotta make people comfortable, right? We got to choose ourselves without guilt. Um, but it also means that we need an emotional presence, right? Um, Not just, a focus on that to-do list that you were talking about. We tend to go, okay, this is, oh, this is what everybody's doing, right? Everybody's using this particular planner, and that coach over there, or that other high achiever over there, or that mom over there, whatever. This is what they're doing, so I'm going to do it too, and it's going to fix everything. And it hasn't been tailor made to you. You haven't investigated, like, how do you need to add, edit, delete, change, shift, morph it, make it your own to serve you first, because we can't lead by example unless it's true. Right? So I couldn't teach you how to sit in and move through big, hard things with dignity, grace, harmony, right? Peace, joy, if I didn't know how to do it myself.